So welcome to the show, Sherisse with Project Homeless Connect, and Josh Indar, who is a programmer here on KZFR, and he works for the School Ties program for Butte County Office of Ed. So why don't you guys do a quick introduction for yourself, and then we can welcome you to the studio and jump into letting folks know about Project Homeless Connect.
Thanks, Bill. So yeah, I'm Josh. I am really just kind of helping out with the PR on this thing. This is actually the first one in, I think, 4 years, right?
Yep.
And the last one I was able to be a part of just on the day, not during the planning. And I saw, hundreds of people coming through and getting all kinds of great services that really can help them move to a better life. And that's the whole point of it, is just to get all the services together, one place, in one time, so that people can really just build that foundation so that they can, bring themselves out of homelessness.
Sherisse, welcome.
Thank you. I'm Sherisse Allen, and I've been asked to be the coordinator for Project Homeless Connect. And we've spent the last 6 months or so in community committee meetings to try to develop a program that will truly serve people who are experiencing homelessness in our county.
So I'm just going to give some of the logistics, and then you folks can kind of talk about who's going to be there and all that kind of stuff. But it is going to be Wednesday, April 27th at 9 a.m. They do have a Facebook page and an event page, correct? You got an event page too, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. The promo guy's got an event page, Facebook. It's going to be at Silver Dollar Fair, 2357 Fair Street, Chico, California. And what else do we need to know about this event, man?
Well, it is a one-day, one-location event. It is actually a national service model that a lot of communities are doing now. The community comes together and they bring as many services as they can, and relevant services to serve those that are homeless. We have about 65 different services that are going to be provided this year, so we're really excited about that. Our services, which is really the star, is we have some basic services for people if they want to just come in and have a meal, take a shower, get some food and water. Plus, we have many, many services that will have kind of a long-term impact. Information about programs, enrollment, screenings. We'll have clothing there, clean socks and underwear, hygiene products. We're really excited to be able to bring this to the folks in our county.
Mm-hmm. And we'll have the DMV processing. No.
The DMV is working on being there. It was one of our biggest stars last time, and they are understaffed.
Oh, really?
And so we're trying to see if they can get someone as far as Sacramento or Redding to come and spend the day with us, because, as you know, IDs are crucial
Huge.
for people. I mean, that you can't get sheltering without an ID. And there was a new law passed in January where those experiencing homelessness can get free IDs. So I can imagine it would be completely popular.
All right, Guillermo Mash here, and pleased to announce that since we aired this on KZFR on April 8th, 2016, the Directory of Motor Vehicles will be on site at the 2016 Butte County Project Homeless Connect, serving up free IDs. Thanks so much, DMV.
On the other area, while I'm pleading for additional services, our second most popular were those haircuts, and we are looking for stylists and barbers and anybody who could spend the day with us. So if you are a stylist and would like to participate, you can get the information on our website and give me a call. We'd love to have you join us for the day.
And we can have stylists do just, like a couple hours shifts, right?
Right. We will accommodate
whatever time you have.
Right. I mean, it would be great if a salon would actually sponsor and you could rotate through your stylists. And really, that's both for service, but also for an understanding and a contribution to a situation that I think will be very learning for our community to participate in, to really understand the dire circumstances of people in our county. And sometimes I think that we don't see that from a positive perspective of something we can do to help. I think that people get frustrated and dismayed about the situation, and a lot of fear starts happening. But when you're working side by side with somebody, it's a totally different experience.
We need hair people. I'm calling them hair people. I hope that's not an insult to the hair people. But I know there's got to be people that are listening to either hairstylists or know a hairstylist. Get on Facebook, talk to your friends, and let's get some haircuts. You need to connect people with people that care. The more people that go, the more people that get connected. The more people that get connected, the more help that they get. What would you guys say to all that?
Well, I agree. I mean, IDs are crucial by themselves, but also allowing folks to participate in other services as well. They get their ID, then they can go to the next table where they can get a free cell phone, which connects them to services. Mm-hmm. But they can't get a cell phone without an ID, then they can go to the Butte 211 booth and they can register their cell phone. So if there is any sort of service that can be advertised to them later, if there's a sheltering situation, if there's a natural disaster, that people that are otherwise unreachable can be reached through Butte 211 if they register their phone there.
It's like this little piece of plastic that most people carry in their pocket, don't ever think about it, but it's one of those things that when you're homeless and you lose your belongings, they don't come back, and it's amazing what that little piece of plastic can open up for you. And I don't think people really realize that it's little things like that that keep people on the streets.
Well, it keeps you from being discriminated against as a white male in his mid-50s, blah, blah, blah. They never ask me for an ID when I travel. They don't. They don't ask me. But if they see someone that looks like they might be homeless, which they have all these stereotypes attached to it, they might get asked for an ID. And I mean, if you're a youth that's already a little bit, anxious about traveling or whatever else, you don't want to be traveling without an ID. Because actually tails into, I actually made one little quote about how important this whole thing is one stop. I mean, how important a concept like that is. Maybe you guys can take it from there.
It is extremely important. I mean, this is a model that is used nationwide, but I think that it's particularly important in a county like Butte where we have rural areas and transportation continues to be a challenge for people, even people who have vehicles, but very low income individuals and families that do not have cars. It's difficult to get to appointments. And if you don't get to that initial appointment, then the case manager is unable to tell you about other services that are available. And then you're without the care that you need in order to work your way out of a crisis. So the rural nature of our county really lends itself to a model like this. When we did the Butte Countywide Homeless Continuum of Care does a point-in-time analysis where they ask surveys of people that are without homes in the county, and we try to draw some conclusions from that information. And one of the things that we found was there were a lot of people who just didn't know what services were available. And that feels like it's got to be the first step. I mean, if you don't know what you can access for housing, for employment, for public benefits, I'm not sure how you could make a change. So this allows folks to get understanding about 65 different services in our community all at one place. So that's a wonderful gift that we can offer. And I want to throw in there that the committee that's been working on this has been incredibly diligent about having the booths be service booths, not information booths. These are not information booths where you're going to go by and pick up a brochure that's going to get later thrown on the ground. This is service booths. Every entity there is going to be there to provide services.
So it's not a tabling event for the people that know the lingo of this is not a tabling event.
No, we're trying to get services to the people that need them right away. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's kind of, it would really compress the amount of time that someone who was looking for these services, it could take them months, and then they could, miss an appointment and have the whole thing fall apart. And so that's kind of what we're trying to avoid. Just get it all done so that they can at least, move on from there. Mm-hmm. And one other thing I'd like to say is that, other communities do this on a regular basis, every 6 months or every year or something like that. I would really love to see that happen here at least once a year. We have all these people talking about, how terrible it is that there's so many homeless out there. Hey, let's do something about it. Let's really start making a difference. Just talking about it doesn't really, it helps to raise the awareness, but we really need to have a set program where we do this every year around the same time, and so that we can get these people into the services they need and get them off the streets.
Like that one story Megan had said where there was one person that had recently been homeless, and, they went to Project Homeless Connect in 2012 and they found a place. I mean, this is a big deal, man. Homelessness or, in that situation is solved one person at a time. Transportation. Are you working in different cities to try to get some transport, some buses, or what's going on with the transportation?
We are. We've been really lucky. All of the transportation is being offered to us free through private busing. We're going to be posting flyers this next week where we'll be listing the transportation. Plus, we're going to have these little business card size cards that people can take and put in their pocket. You can hand them out to your friends that will show where to be picked up and the time. So there will be something in Biggs, Gridley, Paradise, Orville, and Chico. There'll be buses to pick up and take there. Also, if you're mobile and you have your car, plenty of parking. If you have a bike, we have secured parking there. Chico Velo is providing that for us. So if you have big packs and bikes and and carts. You don't need to worry about that. Just come on over. If you have pets, we have crates there for your pets and some wonderful pet advocates, as well as, a veterinarian and groomers. And we have all sorts of food and treats for your pets, spay and neuter vouchers so you can take care of them properly. So we hope that nothing will keep people away that can actually benefit from services. And we have childcare there. Bring your kids if they're not in school, and we'll watch them while you go through and visit with the different service providers. You go take a shower, take a break. We're happy to keep a careful watch on your children.
You have food, right?
We have
What's up with the food?
food.
I'm a food guy. Sorry.
Well, yeah. The Hope Center in Oroville
I love those guys. Shout out. Paydens.
Shout out to Hope. They are providing the food. We are trying to prepare for 600 participants. So as you can imagine, nonprofits are going to be stretched pretty thin to be able to provide services for 600 people. But Hope Center totally stepped up. They're providing all of the food, full lunch, drinks, dessert, and Salvation Army is having snacks throughout the day, and food through Community Action Agency will have snacks and water and things. So yeah, you won't be hungry.
There'll be food you can bring with you too. Last time they did that, you could come and get food bags that you could bring with you. Is that of service this year, or?
The food that we're giving out this year is a little bit easier to carry.
Awesome.
So we have
Good
granola
plan.
bars and fresh fruit and water bottles and that sort of thing, as opposed to some of the other things we had last year. So we're trying to improve on that.
So guys, before we turn it over to the final little segment I got here, what else do we need to know, or what might we have missed about your wonderful thing on Wednesday, April 27th, 9 a.m., Silver Dollar Fair?
Well, I'd like to do a little shout out to some of the folks that helped have this come to fruition. Josh mentioned that the last time we held this event was in 2012. And the reason why we haven't been able to do this event since then is simply there has not been funding to pay for a coordinator to do this event. And so we've been very fortunate that the Housing Authority County of Butte has been able to support that this year, because once there is a coordinator in place, the community just rallies. I want to be able to let people know that are planning to come to this event as participants how devoted and how excited that this committee is. I want to speak on their behalf. The community is invested, no matter what you might want to hear. They're excited to be there and connect people to people without ID badges, without glass walls to protect them, without business attire. They are there. They don't have to be there. They're coming because they want to support a part of our community to be able to end their homeless situation. So I wanted to thank the Housing Authority County of Butte, and also Butte County Department of Employment and Social Services that has helped us with outreach and some of the booth expenses, and has totally been there to support making this happen. Otherwise, all of the other funds have been provided by individuals in the community, either just private individuals that have donated $100 to $500, done so anonymously, to nonprofits that are participating that contributed $25 if they could, and then sponsored each other when they couldn't come up with the $25. So this is something that really is grassroots, even though it is a national model, and just really want to make sure that everybody knows that when they walk through that gate, we are going to be just so excited to see them.
Yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate that. And thank you for coming in. I had one point I was going to make, but my 55-year-old mind, it has escaped me. Maybe I'll have you back on the show. I'll remember what it was. But that was really beautiful. So thank you so much for doing that.